The following is a paid program, and the views expressed on this show do not represent the views of WJZ-FM, Entercom Communications, its sponsors, or affiliates.
The following is a pre-recorded show. Welcome to Winning in Retirement with your host, Brian Akers, certified financial planner professional and founder of Akers Financial Group. Now, helping you win in your retirement, here's Brian Akers.
Hello, I'm Brian Akers. Today I have with me Jeff Akers. We are both certified financial planner practitioners from Akers Financial Group, and welcome to Winning in Retirement. This show is called Winning in Retirement, and sometimes it doesn't feel like that right now, and that's what the show is going to be all about, is how can we be winning in retirement in tougher times? And part of that is to do a thing which I loved growing up, and that was a show called This Week in Baseball. This Week in Baseball was my favorite show. Was it your favorite show, Jeff?
I don't know if it was my favorite show, but I watched it pretty much every week.
This Week in Baseball.
This Week in Baseball.
So our goal today is to bring up what happened in financial planning, investments, insurance this week.
Yes, and there's been a lot going on this week. There's been, there was some stuff passed at the end of last week that we'll get to talk about, but going back to just how This Week in Baseball worked, it was always the great plays. Sometimes it was the misplays, but it'll just be a time to go through how things have gone this week.
Right. So there's a lot of things going on in your life, and some of the times what happens is you want to sort of react to it. And whenever we react to things, it creates sort of a defensive response to life and to things that are going on. And what we want you to do is to think about, how are you doing right now? Are you reacting to what's going on, or are you creating the opportunities for you and your family during these troubled times? Creating and reacting use the same letters, but have a much different definition.
That's right. With reacting, you're kind of sitting back, taking that defensive posture, and kind of the winds that are blowing are what affects you and what you do. But when you create, then you're leaning forward, you're looking to the future, you're figuring out what to do in order to make a difference, a positive difference in your life, and take advantage of opportunities.
Right, so we recommend that you give us a call at Akers Financial Group. The way to reach us is you can go to our website at akersfinancial.com. If you go to that website, there's a place on the front page there you can email, or basically you're emailing to us, and we'll be getting right back to you to set up a phone appointment. Because at Akers Financial, we've been deemed essential under the Maryland rules because we deliver retirement checks and financial services for clients during this time. But we also are there ready and able to take your call and to go over some things that you're thinking about to help you in creating what you need to create at this time. You can give us a call at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's WINRETIRE. When you call, you'll be basically be able to talk to Susan, and she'll set up a time to talk with one of our team of advisors. That's 833-946-7384. Now, Jeff, this week in financial planning, there was the CARES Act late Friday night last week. And so this week we've been hearing about it, and people are hearing a lot of different segments of it. We're going to cover, the first part I want to cover is the cash payments and how that works. What's your thoughts on that? And not political thoughts, just logistics.
Right, just the logistics. So if you're single, you file as a single taxpayer, and you earn $75,000 or less, then you're eligible for a check of $1,200. There's been some reports that that'll be direct deposited relatively quickly. I've also heard some reports that if it's not going to be direct deposited, it might take a little longer to get to you. But if you're single and your income was less than $75,000, then you'd probably get a check for $1,200. If you're married and filed jointly and your income is less than $150,000, then you'd get two of those checks, so $2,400. And for children under age 17, there's an additional $500 per child. So for a family of four, you got the $2,400 plus another $1,000 would be $3,400 if your kids are all under age 17.
So this leads to a couple of planning thoughts. One thought is that 18 to 23-year-old, that person that is actually taken as a dependent on their parents' tax return, they would not get a check at all under the way I understand this rule. But of course, the detail of this more and more is coming out. So the way I'm reading that is, if you are someone 18 to 23, someone in that range where you might be taken as dependent on someone else's return, what you might want to do is think about if it doesn't make any sense to refile as on your own. The other thing is that they look at your income for 2018, or if you filed already for 2019, they'll look at this year's. So depending on how your income was in 18 versus 19, that would depend if you need to maybe hurry up and get your 2019 taxes done, even though we're allowed to wait till July 15th, federal and Maryland.
Yeah, so if 2018 was really a high income year, then like Brian said, you want to hurry up and get 2019 filed if it brings you down under those limits. But if 2000 year and 2018 was a little lower, then go ahead and delay for a little bit.
So basically, when it comes to this check can be coming in the mail unless, my understanding is, unless you were able to electronically pay or get an electronic ACH refund. If they know those numbers, that's going to be the fastest way to receive this recovery payment. The second part of this is if they're writing checks. Imagine 80 million checks. One of the things I read was there is an idea where they're going to try to get out 5 million a week. That's going to take 20 weeks to do that. So this is not a fast thing. I also heard that there's going to be a criteria on how they mail the checks, but I'm not sure if that's true. Criteria meaning based on income, based on some other criteria that they set. So the information's coming in every day on how these work, but the idea is that this recovery payment is for everyone. It's for Social Security, people that are on Social Security and people that are actively working. It's not just those with W-2.
If you're getting Social Security, there had been some talk earlier that if you didn't file taxes, then you weren't going to get one. But then the other day, Secretary Mnuchin came out and said, if you're receiving Social Security, then they know about you and you will get one of these payments. You're not going to miss out on it just because you didn't file a tax return.
Now, this payment, what's going to happen is when you file your 2020 tax return, this is going to come as a credit. The credit will be on the return, and basically you're going to have an election there. Well, did you receive it or not? And then based on your income for 2020, do you forfeit it or not? So if you think your income is going to be over $75,000 or $150,000 married filing jointly, you got to watch those numbers this year. You might have to give this back. So there's a lot of financial planning thoughts coming up when it comes to this situation. This recovery payment is some money to help people. It's not a lot of money. It's not going to do more than maybe help you pay your rent and do a few other things for the month whenever it does come in. But it is meant as part of the recovery. This CARES Act had many, many items in it. Part of it is over $2 trillion. We're going to try to respond to certain things that affect people in their financial planning and small business that affects some of their loans. Now, on Friday, April 3rd, they opened up some of the loan programs through the SBA and through your local bank, where you're able to have certain loans that can even be forgiven. So what you need to do is look at those parts of the law if you're a small business owner. The small business loans, such as the Paycheck Protection provision, that this loan is coming out on April 3rd. There's more and more information to see how you qualify. There's a potential where that loan would be very low interest rate with basically, if you're employing people and paying rent, paying interest on your mortgage, and you're a small business, you might be able to actually receive this loan and not have to pay it back through a forgiveness calculation that's done. These are things that small business owners need to check into and see how it might apply to help them keep their employees employed or to call people back to work. My understanding is that when you get the loan, you start a 60-day window on where you need to spend that money on payroll, rent, utilities, or mortgage interest on the place that you're out of. So that's just another thought for people out there.
Right. If you own a small business, that can be really an important thing to help you get by. Some of the other things that are included, though, we'll be talking about a little bit later on.
Yeah, but the charity one, we can cover that one real quick. The charity, they're going to. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, charity, you can still give through qualified charitable distributions to charities directly from an IRA, and then that distribution from your IRA is not taxable.
Okay, so which one were you talking about there? Say that again.
Well, that was the qualified charitable distribution. You can still give directly to a charity from an IRA, and that's not a taxable distribution when you do that.
We'll definitely cover that in greater detail later. On the act, and there's a charitable deduction now for $300 for people on your return. So what that means is if you do a filing standard in 2020, you'll be able to report $300 that will be off your taxes. That's one small way to help with by giving to charity, giving to medical charities, non-for-profit hospitals, medical. There's a lot of things you can give. They're encouraging you to give through this CARES Act. The other piece is that they're going to be changing how itemization works and allowing more and more charitable gift to be deducted on your tax return so you can give in this situation that's going on. Now, the CARES Act, generally it is part of something that's to help us recover. I don't believe it's going to be a real stimulus to drive us forward. I believe all of this is tied to how the virus works, how it needs to be stopped. So as we work and go through this, the social distancing seems to be working based on everything we've been hearing from the news. And we think the financial markets will recover in time once and only after the virus has had its situation. So here on Winning in Retirement, we want you to know that it is a tougher time. We want you to not react and to be defensive. We want you to think about creating opportunities for you and your family. After this message, we're going to talk more about required minimum distributions and how that was changed by the CARES Act.
Imagine you're retired. You wake up in the morning and you don't even know what day it is. Every day seems like a Saturday. You can sleep in, cook a nice full breakfast without thinking about morning traffic or work deadlines. The Saturday calmness you used to crave is now your everyday feeling. You're not worried about your retirement income or how your investments are doing. Your biggest decision that day is where you're going to drink that first cup of coffee. Is that the kind of retirement you want? If it is, then sit down and talk with the team at Akers Financial Group. They want to help you get there. They've been helping families in Maryland plan for retirement for over 30 years. Call to schedule your complimentary meeting at 833-WIN-RETIRE. The number again is 833-WIN-RETIRE. Start planning for your retirement now. Call 833-946-7384. Member FINRA SIPC.
Akers Financial Group was founded on the principles of integrity, trust, and service. We believe each and every client is unique and deserves advice and implementations that apply directly towards their personal financial fingerprint. This financial fingerprint tells us the objective risk tolerance and purpose of the investment and insurance tools that we use to assist our clients in reaching their goals. By discovering the purpose of each financial decision, we can help you accomplish your goals. Intelligent financial design starts with a detailed balance sheet and cash flow to know where to start. This leads to a financial decision that will allow you to reach your goals with your risk tolerance in mind. Our relationships begin with an initial consultation and grows with each meeting. We would be thrilled to work with you and begin your planning process. Call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-946-7384. Or visit our website at AkersFinancial.com. Member FINRA SIPC.
Hi, this is Jesse Cunningham, the owner of Mountain View Insurance, and we are proud to be affiliated with Akers Financial Group. We, too, base our business on integrity, service, and acknowledge that every client's insurance needs are unique to their own situation. At Mountain View Insurance, we specialize in car insurance, home insurance, and umbrella coverages, all designed to protect your assets that you've worked so hard to earn. When serving our clients, we focus on creating a protection plan that is appropriate to your needs. After we determine the correct plan, we then go to shop for you. Mountain View Insurance is an independent insurance brokerage, and that means we have access to many top national and regional insurance carriers. Let us build an appropriate and affordable insurance plan for you and give us a call directly at 410-262-3176. Once again, that's 410-262-3176. This is Jesse Cunningham, owner of Mountain View Insurance, and I look forward to hearing from you.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. I am Brian Akers, Certified Financial Planner Practitioner. Here with me today is Jeff Akers, Certified Financial Planner Practitioner, also from Akers Financial Group. Jeff, are you good and ready?
Yeah, I'm as ready as I'm going to be, so let's keep on going with the CARES Act.
All right, so this is the second quarter of our show. What we're trying to do is just talk about what we do and how we help our clients by going over some information that changed this week in financial planning. This Week in Baseball is one of my favorite shows growing up, but we're going to talk about some of those things. In times like this, it might not seem like it right now, but there is opportunity. Anytime there is a kind of shift in the market, you need to refocus yourself, not on the problem, but on the opportunity. You need to go from reacting to creating. Did you know that reacting and creating have the exact same letters? They're just in a different order. So if you're constantly in the reaction mode, that's when sometimes the decisions made are not the best long-term decisions for you. At Akers Financial Group, we want you to be creating the opportunities for you and your family. The attitude is where you are truly looking to the future on how to provide for your family through this and into your future. You can go to our website at akersfinancial.com, or you can give us a call at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's WINRETIRE. Call 833-946-7384. And when you call, what will happen is this. You'll talk to one of the people at our office. If you call on Saturday, you'll leave a message. If you call on Monday, you'll get a person, Susan most likely, and what she'll do is schedule a time with one of their team of advisors to talk about your exact situation. Now, Jeff, as we were leaving last segment, I said we're going to talk a little bit about required minimum distributions. Can you start out with what is the required minimum distribution? What does that mean?
So for folks who are over it used to be 70 and a half, but at the end of last year, they changed that age to 72. And you have an IRA or a retirement plan that you had through work, then you have to start taking money out of those plans and paying tax on that money. So it's a requirement each year. And if you don't take your required minimum distribution, then there's a penalty for not doing that. And the penalty is 50% of what you were supposed to take. So it's a pretty stiff penalty. And we always want to be sure and avoid that. The RMD rules do also apply to folks who have inherited an IRA from a parent or someone else that wasn't their IRA originally. And so it does apply to whoever inherited that. They're going to have to take money out of that IRA or even a Roth IRA in that case as well.
But what you're saying is that's what the rules are, but the CARES Act stepped in and made some changes. What kind of changes did the CARES Act, and how does it apply to required minimum distributions for those over age 72?
So the CARES Act came in last week, and this is the This Week in Financial Planning. They just said all required minimum distributions are waived for 2020. So now folks that are over 72, or if you are already taking required distributions, then you don't have to take one for the year 2020.
And do you know that is the same thing they did in 2009?
I had forgotten 2009.
But 2009, this was one of the ideas, because when you do a required minimum distribution calculation, you're using a higher value, and the market had come down. Now, one of the things about a required minimum distribution is some people need that money. And so if you need the money and you're using that money as you're living off your IRA money now, the RMD just says that if you don't need the money, you don't have to take it. that doesn't mean you can't take it. You still can take the money out of your IRA. So it has nothing to do with your ability to take your money. It just has to do with are you required to take a certain amount out and pay tax now?
So they use the December 31st value to calculate your RMD, and it's based on a life expectancy factor that the IRS gives. And at the end of last year, the market had gone way up. And so RMD calculations were pretty high for this year. So they're trying to say, well, the RMD calculation for this year is really high. Now your investment might be a lot lower because of what's going on with the market, and we don't want to make you take that much out of your IRA. And so they've waived that for this year. But like Brian said, if you need the money to live on, you're still allowed to take it. They're not going to stop you from taking money out of your IRA. They're just not going to force you to take money out of your IRA this year.
All right, so when it comes to the RMD, the required minimum distribution, and the financial planning clients at Akers Financial Group, these are the things we're talking about this week. One is, do you need the money on your RMD or not? If you need the money, we'll keep the money coming out. We'll keep taking the taxes out. Nothing changes for you. If you do not need the money, have you been giving it to charity through something called a QCD, a qualified charitable distribution, where you take it out of your IRA straight to a charity, and that's a non-taxable withdrawal. If someone has a standard deduction on your tax return, the use of your IRA to pay QCDs, even though we don't have to do a withdrawal, would be an efficient way to pay to charity, even in 2020 with the waiving of the requirement. And then the third thing we're talking to people about is this. If we don't need the money, and we don't really have a charitable intent, but we want to do something that's tax effective, we should consider Roth conversions. Roth conversion of your RMD amount, because we don't have to take the RMD, we could pay the tax now on, say, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, whatever that amount is that you're required to take or used to be required to take out. And what you do is you have that money converted, where you pay the tax, you move it to a Roth IRA, and then it will grow tax-free. Jeff, can you explain more about the Roth IRA?
And in the Roth IRA, you never pay tax on that money again. So once you get it there, it's tax-free to the future. There's also not a required distribution for it when it comes up.
Yeah, I guess the word never, there is one exclusion, and that is if you never had just used it again. If you don't have a Roth IRA, there is a 5-year rule. That 5-year rule still applies on a Roth IRA, where the Roth grows. That growth you can't touch for 5 years if you don't own a Roth IRA already. Because any Roth that we have to own for 5 years before we touch the growth, no matter what age we are.
Right. So the Roth IRA can be a wonderful thing down the road. And right now, with the market going down, maybe you've got an IRA that's invested in stocks, and it's worth a lot less than it was at the beginning of the year. So you can convert a larger amount of it, more shares, and not have to pay tax after it comes back up. We can wait until we can convert it, and then the Roth IRA grows, and it grows tax-free at that point, as long as we have it for more than 5 years, like Brian was saying.
Right. So what we try to do at Akers Financial Group is really talk about our situation for our clients, their unique financial fingerprint. So what that means to me is each and every client we've been talking to, there's been a number of people we've talked to this last week, 10 to 12 hours a day on the phone, talking with people about where they are and what we need to do. And we've been using our lower risk investments for any withdrawals that are needed. We typically, in our income plan for retirees, have cash so that we can absorb situations like the market pulling back during this virus event. So when we're talking about required minimum distributions, it is based on an individual and their exact situation. So we do invite you to go to our website and to give us a call so we can sit down and talk about your position, where you are now, and really find ways to help you make these decisions. So this talk about required minimum distributions is about people that are over 72, but this waiving of the distribution requirement also applies for inherited IRAs this year. If someone passes away this year, that person doesn't have to take a withdrawal, and the person that receives it doesn't have to take a withdrawal. So there are many of the IRA, let me just say, all the IRA withdrawal requirements for 2020 are waived. That means if you had a 5-year rule on your withdrawal, you now have a 6-year rule. This 2020 in those calculations are not going to affect. Now, that's a lot of technical wording. Our main advice there is call us. Call one of our team of advisors, and we can talk about your situation and how your IRAs, your beneficiary IRA, your Roth beneficiary IRA, and how you don't have to take payments this year, and how we can change what we're doing.
This can be a very emotional time, and that's okay that there's a lot of emotions going on, but if you give us a call, we can sit down and look at your situation from a rational perspective and give you ideas, create those ideas to go to the future and to benefit you and your family long term. So give us a call or check us out on the web, and we can talk with you over the phone. We can talk to you by video phone if need be, and then we can just develop that plan for you going forward.
So you don't like the video phone, Jeff?
The video phone's fine.
My favorite thing on the Zoom meetings is the fact that you can put scenery behind you. Now, it makes your head look deformed at times, but I think it's pretty fun.
It is. I'm in outer space right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So when it comes to you and your situation, Winning in Retirement is the name of the radio show. But to win, there might be some tough times where you have to buckle down, and that buckle down is where you take a look, spend some time understanding where you are, and then let's create opportunities for you and your family. So when you're talking about financial planning, we want you to think about where you are now. Let's take a picture of what's going on in your life. So this show is all about doing that. In a few minutes, we're going to talk about retiring at this time. Join us for more of Winning in Retirement right after these messages.
You are unique. Just as no two fingerprints are alike, each individual's financial situation is uniquely their own. That's why the Akers Financial Group's team of advisors begins each relationship with a proven process that identifies your financial fingerprint. We'll guide you through a series of steps designed to provide a complete and accurate snapshot of where you are right now. Everything we learn about your financial fingerprint will become part of a detailed financial plan created especially for you. We'll never give you a cookie-cutter proposal or suggest a one-size-fits-all portfolio. The financial plan takes you from where you are now to where you need to be. Begin by discovering your financial fingerprint right now by going to getmyfinancialfingerprint.com. That's getmyfinancialfingerprint.com.
Member FINRA SIPC.
Knowledge is power. How much better would life be if you had the power to provide a financial umbrella for your family, protect your estate, retire without any lifestyle compromise? Obtaining this kind of knowledge is as easy as making a call to Akers Financial Group. Akers Financial provides comprehensive, innovative, and personalized wealth management services. Call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-946-7384. Or visit our website at akersfinancial.com. Member FINRA SIPC.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Brian Akers of Akers Financial Group is a registered representative offering securities through Kalos Capital Incorporated and investment advisory services through Kalos Management Incorporated. Akers Financial Group is not an affiliate or subsidiary of Kalos Capital or Kalos Management and does not provide tax and legal services. Advice given on Winning in Retirement is general in nature, and one should seek further advice from their financial advisor, broker, attorney, or tax accountant before investing. Be sure to read each prospectus carefully to understand all the risks associated with each investment. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. I'm Brian Akers. Here with me is Jeff Akers from Akers Financial Group. And today we're talking about this week in financial planning. We're talking about what's going on. Part of it has been the CARES Act and the effect of that. Now, Jeff, the CARES Act is something that came in last Friday. and it is affecting many things this week, but we're still gathering more and more information. One of the rules that I want you to try to go over is if you're under 59.5 and you've lost your job and some other things going on, what are some of the new rules where there is the ability to get some money out of your IRA during this time?
So when you're under 59.5, the general rule of thumb is if you take money out of a retirement plan, there's a 10% penalty for whatever you take out. There were some exceptions along the way, but the CARES Act expanded those exceptions quite a bit, built on those. And so the 10% early distribution penalty is waived on distributions from IRAs and retirement plans up to $100,000 if you take $100,000 out. Now, you have to meet certain requirements in order to qualify for this relief, and you have to be affected by the coronavirus. So those are some of the rules that are still being developed and haven't necessarily been published yet. But as we learn more about that, we'll see how that can affect folks who might need to take money out of their retirement plans this year, even though they're not 59.5 just yet.
So what are some of the reasons people can get out? Is it like being unemployed? Is that one of the reasons?
Well, but what I see, it says have to be affected by the coronavirus. So if you're unemployed because of the coronavirus, that would seem to make sense to me, but I haven't seen a detailed list of what those requirements are.
Okay. So what happens is that we don't recommend pulling money out of your retirement account because that's set with a purpose in mind to your future. The other thing is that with the markets down, it's not a recommended time to be selling your investments to be able to cash out at a bottom. It's because one of the multiplying mistakes people can make in investments is to sell when they're down, because you lock in a loss and then you can't know when the bottom is and when it will start to come back up again, and you'll miss opportunity. The general key to investing is the stock portion of your portfolio needs to be invested in stocks. The other portion needs to be invested and diversified in many different ways. We believe that there's opportunity on the stock market when it comes to investments over the next few months. We're not in a hurry to jump in, but we strongly believe people need to evaluate where their portfolios are and decide what to do when it comes to investing. This early withdrawal idea is for people who might have a tremendous amount of debt, that lost their job and they don't know where money's coming from to pay the bills. These situations, this is exactly what this law was built for. So that's what you should look into that under your exact situation.
Yeah, so this is an emotional time. We've said this before. It's a very emotional time. And so it's important to have someone take a look at your situation, your whole situation, and look at it rationally and come up with a plan, a coherent, comprehensive plan on what to do going forward. You might have lost your job and you're not sure what to do next. Give us a call and we'll take a look at your options and help you figure out a plan for going forward. You might still have a job, but your hours have been cut way back. Or you might be retired and your investments have gone way down. These all, conjure up kind of a emotional response in us. And sometimes when we act emotionally, we're reacting. We make not always the best choices. And so give us a call. We can take a look at things. We can create that right plan for you going forward.
Now, the question I want to cover is, are you retiring at this time? Now, I had two clients actually retiring this week. One was on Tuesday and one is actually on Friday, so just yesterday. So these two people, we've been planning this retirement for a long time. And so we had certain things in line. So when we had our talks about should they really retire, should they go ahead with this, we were able to go over what has been done in the most recent past for them to get them ready for retirement. So some of the things we did was we got them on a retirement budget to know what their expenses are into their retirement years. We helped them to work on getting out of debt, to have a low amount of debt or zero as they enter retirement. One of the best ways to retire is to have no bills. So when we talk about retiring at this time or retiring anytime, having no debt is a very easy way, because I think the key to retirement is cash flow. Cash flow is the amount of money coming in versus the money going out. The lower the money out, the less you need coming in, the more likely you can retire. So these people that I've been speaking to that are retiring this last week, what I had to do over the last few months is we took things out of the market. We put them into more protected provisions. We use different laddered fixed annuities to create some guarantees and to build an income stream that will come in the future. We diversify the portfolio into a lot of different assets on ways that to basically have lower risk than the actual market. So if you're pre-retirement, you look to grow. As you get ready to retire, you start to dial it back. With the market going down like it is, one of the things you have to look at is, should I dial back now or not? So retirement at this time can be very tough.
It can be if you don't have the plan in place. But if you've got the plan, like Ryan was talking about, where your expenses, you know what those are, and you know how you're going to meet them from sources that you don't have to sell something that's down in order to meet that income need, then you're in really good shape to retire. Or you can be in really good shape to retire now. So that's why we want to take a look at your situation, look at it from a rational perspective, take a step back and just help guide you through the decisions that you need to make in order to put yourself in a position to retire, whether it's next week, next month, next year, or 5 years down the road.
Yeah, the other situation was the client who retired Tuesday, or officially retired Tuesday, but he took off the last few days. And guess what he did a week ago?
Take a cruise.
Absolutely not. He moved to Florida. And so he moved to Florida and took everything down there. And then, of course, last week, the rule in Florida was when, as you entered Florida, they pulled you over on 95 and you had to show where you're coming from. So that was, he had to prove he was coming from Maryland, and they let him go to his place we had bought before this. So what happens is that some people, when it comes to their plans, knowing that they are in motion, they are still making and creating these opportunities for themselves. We're recommending that we be very careful in all aspects of life, but when it comes to your planning, we need to make sure that you are set to that future that you have. Now, some of the things that we got to talk about when it comes to financial planning is the idea of winning in retirement. What does it look like? How can you know you're winning? Our concept of winning is knowing that you have a positive cash flow every month and that your money is there to provide for you throughout the years. So when we review portfolios right now, we're basically going over the income distributions, making sure we have enough cash. We're looking at opportunities on any extra cash where we could buy into the market if there is an opportunity soon.
So if you're pre-retirement, it's kind of like practice. You're preparing for retirement. When you retire, that's when you start playing the game. And we all know that in sports, you're going to play the game the same way you practiced. And so that's where getting that budget in place and understanding what your expenses are. You do that during the preparation time, and then you can use that skill when you get to the retirement game. So we want you to win in retirement, and that's one of the ways that we're going to take care of that, is helping you practice well before you get there while you're still working and preparing for it.
Practice? You've heard that quote before. I mean, some people want to be just a game player, but the fundamentals is the practice. Like when I heard Allen Iverson do that quote years ago, I pictured him playing from the age of 4 or 5 years old, and that was his practice, building for that incredible career that he had. If you talk about financial planning and you want to have a great financial plan to win in the future, you need to start now. Start as young as possible and save your money. One quick idea is when you're reviewing your own retirement plan, if you are blessed by having a job now, or if you're blessing us by being essential and working hard throughout this and risking your own life by working, we want you to think about saving that money maybe into the market. Allocate the money into the stocks. Be buying the volatility over the next 3 to 6 months. this recovery that comes out of this will take some time.
Emotion might tell us right now that let's sell and get out of the market because we're afraid. But rational and creating that rational plan might actually mean the opposite. We want to buy while it's low, and we'll sell while it's high.
And so that's what good financial planning should be. At Akers Financial Group, we like to tell you this, and that is, feel free to give us a call to sit down over the phone. That means in front of your video phone or in front of a regular phone call. And what you should do is think about having a call with us, a conversation with one of our team of advisors to talk about your exact situation and the opportunities that are there for you. You can give us a call at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's WINRETIRE, 833-946-7384. Or go to AkersFinancial.com. We have more ideas coming up right after this. Knowledge is power. How much better would life be if you had the power to provide a financial umbrella for your family, protect your estate, retire without any lifestyle compromise? Obtaining this kind of knowledge is as easy as making a call to Akers Financial Group. Akers Financial provides comprehensive, innovative, and personalized wealth management services. Call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-946-7384. Or visit our website at AkersFinancial.com. Member FINRA SIPC.
Imagine you're retired. You wake up in the morning and you don't even know what day it is. Every day seems like a Saturday. You can sleep in, cook a nice full breakfast without thinking about morning traffic or work deadlines. The Saturday calmness you used to crave is now your everyday feeling. You're not worried about your retirement income or how your investments are doing. Your biggest decision that day is where you're going to drink that first cup of coffee. Is that the kind of retirement you want? If it is, then sit down and talk with the team at Akers Financial Group. They want to help you get there. They've been helping families in Maryland plan for retirement for over 30 years. Call to schedule your complimentary meeting at 833-WIN-RETIRE. The number again is 833-WIN-RETIRE. Start planning for your retirement now. Call 833-946-7384. Member FINRA SIPC.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome back to Winning Retirement. I'm Brian Akers. Here with me is Jeff Akers. We are experienced financial planners. I've been in financial services since 1987. And Jeff, I dragged you into financial planning back in September of 2000. Was that right?
That is correct. September of 2000, when some other things happened then, the tech bubble burst. So
right.
I start out with a financial crisis, and now we face another one.
Yeah, well, this is a lot different. It's a virus. This virus is a pandemic around the world. It's not just a real quick fix. It's changing many things in our lives. It's changing the future also. As the government gives this CARES Act, the $2 trillion there, and a lot of other things the government's been doing over the last few weeks, it's going to have a ripple effect in our economy's future. And so when we look at a Winning in Retirement radio show and we talk about how can you be winning in retirement, we have to say, well, the situation that's going on right now, you have to be thinking about where you are so you can try to plan in and through this.
So give us a call whenever, when you hear this. Just set up a time to talk. It's not a time to worry about, I'm not ready to talk to someone, or there's no need to be embarrassed or anything like that. We just want to take a look at where you are now. And once we know where you are now, then we can start developing a plan moving to the future. We can help navigate through some of the things that were in the CARES Act and whatever might be in any future legislation that they're looking at bringing out in the weeks and months to come, too.
So the normal reaction is to react. I mean, the reaction is to fall back and to be defensive in times like this. What we're asking you to do is this. Think about where you are financially, where you are with your job situation, your health, everything. Think about what's going on, and then let's look at what should we be doing now to be healthier, to be wiser, to be more financially fit to the future, to have our budgets work out very well. Many times when things are just wonderful, we don't really look at our finances. We don't look at our debt. We sort of just keep running, assuming that things are going to be good forever. So what we recommend is you got to take a look at where you are now. If you have any time now to take a look at your finances, we think it's a great time to organize yourself. And you can even go to our website and check out some of the forms on there.
All right, the website has a lot of good information. I was talking to somebody yesterday who had gone on there and was educating herself about things preparing for retirement. So there's a lot of great information there at www.akersfinancial.com. So be sure and check that out. And you can also learn a little bit about us. You can see who Brian is, who I am, the other advisors and folks that work here at Akers Financial Group. So be sure and check that out. This time frame, it can be scary with everything that's going on. And we had to react physically. That's why we have social distancing and, whoever heard about, are you a critical employee? We don't usually hear about that unless there's a snowstorm or something. And so we've had to react in that regard. But now the reaction, the recovery, from a physical standpoint, we have to look to the future. What are we going to do? And things will be different even after the pandemic is over. I think things will be different even after this. And so we need to start planning for what that will look like and take advantage of the opportunities that might exist moving on into the future.
So with financial planning, it has to be about you and your family. But it does have to take into effect what's going on right now. In Maryland, there's many unemployment applications going on each week. With unemployment comes other concerns, such as your mortgage payments and things like that. The laws that have come out, they have some help when it comes to your rent payments. There is some help when it comes to late fees or even evictions. Lots of laws are changing. It's very wise to read and get to know that information based on your situation. Jeff, can you cover a little bit about healthcare and healthcare insurance right now?
So a lot of folks, like Brian said, have lost their jobs, and you might have had health insurance through your employer. So you want to check with your employer if you've been laid off and see what the healthcare situation is going to be. If they had a health plan, you might be able to take what's called COBRA or continuation. Now, that can be expensive and that can be very daunting, I think, in times like this. Because we don't know where the paycheck might be coming from. So it's important to get the information about that and start looking at options. Another option would be using like the Maryland Health Connection. And if your income is dropping way down, then you might be able to get a subsidy through the Maryland Health Connection. But since the pandemic, the issue that we're having right now is a health-related issue. We really don't want to be going without health insurance during this time. So I'd encourage you, if you did lose your job, look at all of your options, and you can give us a call and we can help you walk through those to see what's going to be the best thing to protect you and your family.
Yeah, I was thinking about this weekend financial planning and all the different aspects. One of our clients passed away this week from another medical situation than the virus, and it was just something you just don't plan ahead for. It just sort of happens so quickly. And so there are lots of situations in life. And so having a plan, having things in place are very important. Now, my talks with clients this week has been about the things they might not have fixed or done yet. One of the biggest things we see in financial planning is people don't do their wills, their power of attorney. They don't do their healthcare power of attorney. They always put that off to some future date. I believe that you need to take time and think about working with an attorney to develop your estate planning now. This isn't some type of scare tactic, but if there's some time where you can read up about it, you can find out more information, we can send that to you from our office so you can get these things in line. We've also been having people just look at where they are and do all the things on their financial planning things to do list. It's amazing how many people have just put things off to a future when they don't know that they should have done it yesterday.
I couldn't agree more with Brian about the fact that folks don't prepare their legal documents, and it can create a real hardship down the road if something happens physically to them. And so this is an opportunity. We're all restricted to being at home, so for the most part. So this is a time to think about these things and use this as an opportunity to clean up those things that you just never had the time to get to. Well, now you might have the time. So look at this as an opportunity, not just something bad that's making life difficult at the moment, but an opportunity where you can do something that in a year from now, when things have improved, you can look back and say, well, that was good that I accomplished this during that time, even though that time was difficult.
So at Akers Financial Group, we have a weekly email that goes out to all of our clients. You can get on that list by going to AkersFinancial.com and asking to be on the weekly email list of Akers Financial. Last week, you would have received our summary of the CARES Act. This radio show is covering a little bit about that today. We've covered things like the RMD is not required this year. So if you're over 72, you do not have to take a withdrawal out of your IRA. But there's more than just that when it comes to your financial planning. There's these cash payments that are coming up, that are coming out. Sometime between now and I think August, September, there will be some checks coming. What other ideas are coming from the CARES Act, Jeff?
So if the required minimum distributions are being waived, then maybe you want to do a Roth conversion. That might make sense for you. It might be that you're better off not taking a distribution at all this year. At least this year, you have the option to not do that. Or if you're giving money to charities through your IRAs, that still might be a good idea. And so we want to take a look at, if you're taking required distributions, if you're that age, 72 or older, then we just want to take a look at whether or not that's a good idea and how best to use that rule that has changed this year.
Okay, so that's requirement distribution. There's the cash payments coming out, $1,200 for single, $1,200 per person for a married filing jointly. So those are all coming out, hopefully in the next few months for people. The CARES Act happened last Friday. I believe there will be more recovery and stimulus concepts coming in the future. There's a lot going on. So when it comes to Akers Financial Group and you winning in retirement, our recommendation is it starts with planning. You got to start there.
We have a lot of things changing right now, and so you can rely on us to take a look at what those changes are and then apply that information to your specific situation. So just give us a call, set up a time where we can talk and go through your situation. Once we get that figured out, we can see how these things might apply to you and set you on the path to winning in retirement.
Now, what might be happening is that you might have a reaction because your portfolio might have lost a lot of money. The statements are beginning to come in for the end of March here. And what you got to do is understand that reacting is a defensive thing. It's like sitting on your sofa and you move back and back and back. Reacting is like that. Now, some people might have too much risk. They might be making wrong financial decisions. Maybe your current advisor doesn't have a thorough approach to planning and how to invest your portfolio for your exact future. But what you can do now is sit forward. You can have the forward-moving energy of creating. The people who will get through this in the best shape financially are the ones who take this opportunity and at this time to be in a creating mode, in a solution mode. It's a choice. Pick up the phone and give us a call at Akers Financial Group. Call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's WINRETIRE. So you give us a call and you talk to Susan and set up an appointment very soon. Give us a call at 833-946-7384 or go to AkersFinancial.com. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you guys out there for listening. I'm Brian Akers from Akers Financial Group, and we want you to be winning in retirement. Knowledge is power. How much better would life be if you had the power to provide a financial umbrella for your family, protect your estate, retire without any lifestyle compromise? Obtaining this kind of knowledge is as easy as making a call to Akers Financial Group. Akers Financial provides comprehensive, innovative, and personalized wealth management services. Call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-946-7384. Or visit our website at akersfinancial.com. Member FINRA SIPC. Knowledge is power. How much better would life be if you had the power to provide a financial umbrella for your family, protect your estate, retire without any lifestyle compromise? Obtaining this kind of knowledge is as easy as making a call to Akers Financial Group. Akers Financial provides comprehensive, innovative, and personalized wealth management services. Call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-946-7384. Or visit our website at akersfinancial.com. Member FINRA SIPC. Knowledge is power. How much better would life be if you had the power to provide a financial umbrella for your family, protect your estate, retire without any lifestyle compromise? Obtaining this kind of knowledge is as easy as making a call to Akers Financial Group. Akers Financial provides comprehensive, innovative, and personalized wealth management services. Call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-946-7384. Or visit our website at akersfinancial.com. Member FINRA SIPC.
Appreciating was a paid program, and the views expressed on this show do not represent the views of WJZ-FM, Entercom Communications, its sponsors, or affiliates.
Yeah, I do have some pictures. This is Suzanne when we first met. This is us in the Bahamas. Oh, and here's a shot of Suzanne from the stern. What a boat.
Geico and Boat US know how you feel. That's why we make it easy to switch and save on boat insurance. Visit geico.com today.
Prescription products require an online physician consultation and are only available if the physician determines a prescription is appropriate. Subscription required. See website for full details and important safety information.
Hey guys, good news. The outrageously expensive little blue pill is now generic, which means you can get the prescription medication to treat ED at affordable prices. And Hims makes it extra affordable. You pay just $30 for a month's supply. And right now, get your first online doctor's visit totally free when you go to forhims.com/joy. That's right, free, zero copay, no expensive appointments, no awkward face-to-face conversations to get your prescription. Hims connects you to doctors online who can evaluate you and, if appropriate, prescribe your ED medication. And a pharmacy sends it right to your door. Hims makes it affordable, private, and incredibly easy. Nobody likes dealing with ED. Now, thanks to Hims, nobody has to. And that's really good news. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/joy. That's forhims.com/joy. For your free online visit, forhims.com/joy.
When you're a global university that was founded more than 70 years ago for service members and working adults, you need a name to match your mission. University of Maryland University College is now University of Maryland Global Campus. The respected state university with an international reputation for academic excellence, offering courses online and at 140 classrooms and service locations worldwide, including military installations. With UMGC, you can earn your degree or certificate wherever you are. And with rolling admissions and no SAT or GRE required for most programs, we can help you get started today. A global mission, a global presence. We are University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn a respected degree from an accredited state university with more than 90 programs and specializations in fields like business, cybersecurity, healthcare, and more. You can gain the skills you need to get moving and get ahead. Visit umgc.edu/radio. That's umgc.edu/radio. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Need options to sell your home during this difficult time? There's only one agent you need, the Lee Tessier team of Tessier Real Estate. Lee has always been in the solution business and will work hard to help you reach your goals. Visit leetessier.com.
Geico for your boat. See how much you could save at geico.com today.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes?
How could he do this to you? And for Sheila, she has split ends.
B, console her.
Oh, sweetie, this is going to happen a lot. 4, maybe 5 more times before you get married.
C, take charge.
Got to get this all straightened out. Give a little talking to, man to man, mano a mano. Hey, Steve. Is now a good time? No? Okay, no problem. Bye.
Or D, help her find a new boyfriend.
I know a great place to meet boys. The internet. Nice, single boys. Never mind. How about some ice cream?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Broadcasting from the Thompson Creek Window Company studios. High-quality windows at an affordable price. Direct from their local factory. This is WJZ-FM Gainesville, Baltimore. 105.7 The Fan. A Radio.com sports station.